Welcome back to Comics, the podcast where me and my mom look through our comic book collection, and this is The House of Mystery.
Do you dare enter?
Beware of the Man Who Hated Cats. I got this at Pop's Comics, one of our local comic book stores in Louisville here, and mainly just got it for this absurd cover.
It's crazy.
He's smashing a statue of a cat, and those children are like, why does he hate cats so much? And the ghost of a cat is coming for
I
revenge.
think it's the eyebrows.
And this has no resemblance to the actual plot or any imagery therein. Featuring Death Pulls the Strings as well. This is issue number 241, and it is from 1976. So we have our frame narrative here, a fear festival.
With the Universal Monsters.
So, yeah, exactly. We have Frankenstein. This is not the first appearance, too, that we'll see some of these classic monsters. Or we see Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and the Wolfman later on. But in this first story, welcome, Demon Delver. Welcome to my Fear Feast. The empty chair is for you, a place of honor for our main course. Guest. Make yourself at home. Turn the page and begin the eerie black cat tale I call Paid in Full.
What are they eating?
Blood.
That this crow is interested too.
It's blood soup. Dracula really likes it.
Yeah, he does.
Mummy's having a hard time. It's getting all over his bandages. Is this the first time I've seen a Twinkies or Hostess ad on the inside front cover? Because I think I've
Usually
seen them
they're
on the
inside.
inside back cover or in the middle. But I can't seem to recall when it's been glossy like this on the front.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we've read this one. Batman and the Twinkie-less Gotham City. I'll ruin this town. Gotham City will be Twinkie-less. I have hoarded all the Twinkies by hypnotizing the Twinkies delivery men. He says Twinkies 3 times right off the bat.
He does.
Batman, this is terrible. All the Hostess Twinkies have disappeared from Gotham City. We need your help desperately. Emergency, Robin. Get to the Batmobile. My seatbelt's as good as fastened.
He's too eager.
Who do you think would be so foul as to do such a dastardly trick, Batman?
Penguin.
No fiend would be so foul except, yes, the Penguin. Penguin, release the Twinkies delivery men from their spell. Never. No one will ever get any Twinkies, including at the prison where you'll be.
Who
Please.
is that poor guy in the 70s leisure suit?
That's the Twinkies delivery man.
Oh.
I think he's Penguin's well-known hypnotic powers. He used it to. He said, "Stand over there and put your hands in your pockets. I got phone calls to make." Please tell them I've got to have my Twinkies golden sponge cake with creamy filling inside. What could be more delicious than a Hostess Twinkie, except more Twinkies? Let go. Okay. You get a big delight in every bite of Hostess Twinkies.
That's hilarious. It would be Screamies, though. Watching the
I
scary.
guess that must be his henchmen.
They
Why
look
would
like
Robin,
they're doing TikTok dances.
Yeah. He looks like a wind-up toy that
Yes.
turned around or something. That was a pretty weak, even for Hostess. That was
Yeah.
pretty flimsy.
Whoa.
Yeah, I love the art in this. The first story in particular. Let's see.
Holy
Art by
cow.
Frank Robin. Story by Jack Olek. Jack Olek and Frank Robin. And let's see. This is basically a character the story of a character who's a remorseless criminal. This is Cass, who's being stalked by a cat. Cats. Funny how wherever Cass wound up, there was always a cat. For instance, look how it all began. Sst. What? A cat? Blast you. I thought it was the cops. You see, it was a cat that started everything and was to finish everything. Oh! Beat it. Scram, you mangy mousetrap. Get lost. I like how some of the emphasized words and phrases pop out of the word bubble.
Oh,
and
yeah.
get colored, pink and blue and red.
That's nice.
Cass, we heard that. You're in there. Come out. Hands up. This is the police. But of course, Cass didn't know that then. That cabbie you slugged is dead, punk. You're gonna pay for it, so we warn you, don't try anything. Okay, I'm coming. Don't shoot. I give up. Just don't shoot. Cass was just a little creep with a big dream, so how could he know where it would all end? For any fool who runs up an account with the powers of darkness must be prepared to have that account marked paid in full. Which is the title of our narrative here. Well, witch, what do you say now? You're there and I'm here. And in a little while I'll have everything I ever dreamed of. He's burying this poor old witch. Heh, how will your master collect from me then? And so we get a flashback where Cass has pretended to surrender to the authorities here, but he pops out and starts shooting these cops.
Whoa!
One of them wings him, and while he's wounded in his arm, he takes refuge in a train car, it looks like here. Smart? Sure, Cass was smart, the way a rat is smart, but never mind that. What's important is what happened afterward. Gotta get out of town, find a place to hole up. First that grimy freight car, then sometime during the night it began to move. But Cass didn't know that either. He knew nothing until Kentucky. They must have switched my car to here while I was out cold. Could be stuck here for days, and I'm sick. Gotta find a hideout. So he finds a rural Kentucky witch. Hideout.
Go through the Appalachians.
Appalachian witch. Just how he happened to stumble on that cabin in the hills, who knows? Perhaps it was the devil who led him. But he did stumble on it. Who are you? Where did you come from? What? I'm sick. Need help, please? And we see another cat hissing at him.
Resemblance.
Yeah, it's almost like they're foreshadowing what's going to happen. That cat, it must have known instinctively what Cass was. It spat at him as he fell. The last thing he saw was its bared fangs, as he was to see them again later. And so she's nursing him back to health, and he's like, where's my gun? He looks very rat-like, his features. So she says, oh, it's under your pillow, but you won't need it here. I just mind my own business. And she thinks he's asleep when Cass witnesses her transform this rock. It was strange about cats. Always they hated Cass, but for a few days Cass didn't really notice Lucifer, the black cat there. That was to begin at the end of a week. What's she doing? That's a stone on the table, yet she acts like she was chanting over it, like it was something special. No, it ain't possible. That stone turned into a loaf of bread. No wonder she's never without food, but how? And that cat, she treats it like it was human. That's it, she's a witch. Gotta be. All witches have cats. She's giving bread to that cat.
Broken teeth.
Yeah.
Thanks. Finish your milkshake, kid.
Lucifer, eat your bread. There's more of those weird emphasized words. I like that. Kind of a creepy looking kid.
Very.
He's got the clouds on a string on his hand. It's weird.
It's like the Z version of Charms.
So he's scheming, Cass says, about how to take advantage of this witch's powers. That was the night Cass's big dream was born.
His face.
I know, he's like Templeton the Rat. Oh, it took a while for the idea to gel in his miserable little mind, but eventually... Money? You want me to make money for you? But that's impossible. How could I? The same way you made the bread. I saw it. You've got some sort of deal with the devil, you witch. Me, a witch? You're insane. And even if I were, I couldn't do your dirty work. The devil only does favors in exchange for a soul? Okay. Only I figure to keep my soul and be rich besides. So I'll count to 3. Only to 3, old hag. Then Lucifer gets it.
What?
He's your special pet, ain't he? So deliver, or 1, 2, 3. No, Lucifer is all I have. I'll do as you say. Only don't. Okay, but what's that? If you're pulling something... No, this is my book of spells. I must have it to make the money. Anything you want. Just so we're rid of you. Rid of Cass? If the old woman had only known. But Cass was something special. Even to a daughter to darkness. And so... You did it. Old newspapers turned into real money. If I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't believe it. I'm rich. Yes, a fortune, more than you can ever spend. Now, please, I've kept my word. Take it all and go.
Dude, no.
Go?
No.
Me? You really think it's that simple, old witch? No way. Till you come up with one more favor. But you promised. I gave you all you want. Not all. I'm hot. I need a new face, a new body, a fresh start so I can spend this stuff, and you're going to give it to me.
Ooh, he is so evil looking.
No, I can't. I told you, when I do my master's work, it has to be paid for. Blast your master, I don't pay for nothing. Find the right spell in your book, or, yes, here it is, the formula for a potion. But I can't make it without the middle finger of a dead man's hand. And where can I? Maybe you can't, but I can. So he flags down a man who's picking up hitchhikers, I guess. It's raining. He says, oh, hop in if you need some help. And he kills the guy and steals his middle finger. Returns back, gets his potion to change his features so nobody will recognize him for his former crimes, his previous crimes.
How does he know that that guy isn't wanted for something even worse?
Yeah, who knows? Doesn't have to be an evil man or a good man's finger, just a dead one. And so then he murders the old woman to shut her up and buries her in a shallow grave. Meanwhile, Lucifer's watching the whole time. I love this outline between the panels.
Yes.
And this angry, chunky-looking cat. And there's the cat's body there,
That's
too.
beautiful artwork.
So he thinks he's gotten away with it all here. It took only a little while to conceal the evidence of his heartless cruelty, and then he was ready for the final concealment, a new identity. Now, what the? My head, everything's... That old biddy, she poisoned me. I love how the words come out of the bubble there and kind of spill around him. The blackness that took Cass was like the blackness of the grave. How long it lasted, he could not know, but finally... My head's pounding. She did put something in my potion, but it didn't work. I'm still alive. I'm okay. But what happened to everything else? Everything has grown larger. Must be imagining things. You can see the Lucifer's stalking eyes there.
Ugh.
No, it's not my imagination. This pond, it's the puddle I was standing in when I buried that old witch. Nothing's grown bigger. It's me. I've shrunk.
He deserves it. He deserves worse.
We should get this official Young America for 76 bicentennial t-shirt.
I know, I was
It's not
12 during that
centered
summer.
very well. It needs to be moved over to the right just slightly, it looks like. You did this, old witch. Tricked me. Curse you. I'm glad I killed you. Glad. But you haven't beaten me yet. Do you hear it? Dirty old hag, you haven't won yet.
Ooh, worse and worse.
I know, he's more and more rat-like when all of a sudden, who is it but Lucifer?
Lucifer.
I love his little
Excellent.
long shadow he's casting here as he's about to be killed.
And cats play with their...
That's funny you should mention that.
All right.
Bullets don't stop him. It should have ended then, but Cass still had a debt to pay, and fate had decreed that it would be Lucifer who collected that debt. Let me go. No, anything but that. Kill me now. Get it over. Cass prayed for a quick death at the end, but he was to fail in that too, because all cats are alike. They like to toy with their prey. Play with it. It's a cat's nature to play with a mouse. But Cass really had no cause for complaint. After all, he did have a new body, didn't he? And wasn't that just what he wanted? To start all over again from scratch? The end.
Good story.
Yeah, that one's fun.
Fantastic art.
Yeah, there must be a better way to earn a living. One of our free career booklets may provide the opportunity you've been looking for.
He's thinking. He's thinking too much.
I need a new career.
That looks like a still from one of those Swedish movies from the 70s. They were like intense and.
It looks like it would be like an addiction handbook or counseling or something. It looks like he's. Anyway, the second story is a puppetry story. Death Pulls the Strings, and this is a story by Bill Finger of Batman fame, if you recognize that name. Art by Nestor Redondo. So we start with Dracula and the Wolfman fighting in a puppet show. How's this for a puppet show? Different, eh? Very weird, scary. But I'll let you in on a little secret. The real drama is backstage. That's where the puppets put on a show you'll never forget. You see? That's where death pulls the strings. That puppeteer's the greatest. Look at the way he makes those puppets move. You'd almost think they were alive.
Oh, no.
And so this little puppetry melodrama plays out and everybody loves it. But backstage, they're not puppets at all. They're midgets. Surprise,
no.
yes, they're alive. Those jointed puppets are actually midgets. Until a few months ago, they were part of a circus sideshow, and Bruno was a mere barker. Between this and X-Men mentioning circuses, and then an episode or two
right.
ago with Ghost Rider, and there are a lot of circuses, back in the
in the
70s and
comics.
80s in the comics. I haven't gone to a circus in a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
There's too
growing
much
up,
crime. They're always evil.
growing up, I mean, they had them at places like Lakeview Arena.
Yeah, I remember going. Step this way, folks. Cast your eyes on Carl, Tom, and Steve, the smallest men in the world. Then a tornado and fire. Tornado and a fire.
A fire
A
tornado.
fiery tornado destroyed the circus. They were stranded, out of work, until Bruno had his great idea.
It was that cowboy with his electric guns.
Yeah.
Set the tent's on fire.
You want us to pretend to be puppets? And I'll be the puppeteer, and the audience will never know. How's that for a gimmick, eh?
I mean, I could see it working, and it would be entertaining even if you knew, kind of, you know?
That's probably why the people like it. They're not fooled. They're just like, we just like watching midgets dress up like Dracula and the Wolfman. Did you ever have superwear?
No,
You should have.
no.
I like that hat.
I had a Spider-Man
Yellow.
phone.
Get me my yellow Batman beanie. You had a Spider-Man phone, you said?
Spider-Man phone,
Oh, that's cool.
and had a lot of Snoopy stuff.
Mm.
A lot
I
of
like
Charlie
Snoopy.
Brown stuff growing up.
Let's see. So tonight is Bruno the Puppeteer presents Mr. Hyde versus
Uh-oh.
Frankenstein. So his whole idea is to pit classic monsters against each other, I guess, in midget form. Pretend that they're puppets.
Aha.
Next step, millions of dollars. To make their act even more unique, the show featured the terrifying, the macabre. The show was a smash success, and for a time there was teamwork and harmony. This tour is building up our rep. Soon we'll be ready for the big time. Big cities, big theaters. Then slowly Bruno began to change. Perhaps it was the applause, like strong wine.
Of course it was.
It made him drunk with imagined power. I love all those claps behind him. It's me they're applauding. Me, Bruno, me!
Spelled incorrectly.
Me! Clap, clap, clap. After a time, he actually began to believe he was truly manipulating the tiny performers. Move, my little ones, I command you to do my bidding. His obsession grew, and soon he began to think of the midgets as mere wooden figures.
Oh no.
You didn't obey me tonight. You gave a bad performance. But Bruno, don't ever talk back to me. I pulled the strings. I made you. I am your master.
What
He's
a
smacking around this little
jerk.
white-haired midget. Poor guy. As the tour continued, Bruno became more irrational and the midgets more fearful. He's got that crazy look on his face again. Something terrible's happening to that man. He gets more dangerous every day. Let's leave now. Not until we have enough money saved. Right, we have to wait. They didn't have to wait long. A letter reached them that very day. It's from our old boss. What with the fire insurance and all, he's raised enough money for another circus and he wants us back. At last, now we can get
Run.
away. We'll tell Bruno after tonight's performance.
No.
You? Leave me? Never. I created you. I pulled the strings that gave you life. I gave you life. Now I shall take away your life.
Oh my
He
God.
murders them with a sledgehammer, as you do.
No. Yeah.
Now
Look
feel
at
the
it.
wrath of your maker. No, That which I created, I have destroyed. I am the master of all. I am the creator. I am the power. Yeah, who's gonna
What?
pretend to be your puppets now? Now you got midget brains all over your sledgehammer.
Oh man. Yeah. Uh-oh.
But as is so often the case with these horror comics, they're really tales of revenge, paranormal, supernatural tales of just desserts. As if in anger at this blasphemy, a great thundercloud seemed to shape itself into an enormous hand. A finger, a bill finger, of lightning reached down to the high-tension tower. Insulators exploded, high-tension cables snapped, whipped down at Bruno, curling about his wrists, his ankles. Crackling electricity jerked Bruno's body about like a puppet on strings, a puppet being vengefully manipulated by a greater power. Think about Bruno and all dictators who would make puppets of human beings. Think and be forewarned.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
electrocuted to death
Shazam.
like an electric puppet. This is just a goofy little one-pager, Kane's game room here. We see Dracula awaken, immediately turn into a bat, go out of his tomb, here's mausoleum, to the gas station. He's got to take a dump. I got the squirts! It's the last time I ate those gas station sandwiches. I love the cartoony art style. It looks like a Sergio Aragonés.
It does kind of.
D. Manek art and writer. Someone wrote this, D. Edwing. He's like, I only write them. I can't draw. It's a little above my pay grade. Speaking of really low effort, this is our final story in this
and
House
it's a
of Mystery.
Superman?
It's a PSA, actually. Justice for All includes Children 3. And as they note here, published as a public service by National Periodical Publications, Incorporated, in cooperation with the National Center for Juvenile Justice, the Research Division of the National Council of Juvenile Court Judges. I don't know if they got some kind of grant money for this or something.
Absolutely.
But so there's some boys furiously street fighting.
Jeez.
Superman, you know how you used to do in high school where you'd all pair up and just start fist fighting right outside the entrance of the school? We all did it. Superman whips around the corner, and he's breaking up the fight while two staff come out. Are you the school principal? This fighting is terrible. You should throw these boys out of school right here on the spot and keep them out. That isn't done. There must be a hearing before someone is suspended from school. He's right. Following proper procedure means that everyone will be treated alike. The right to ask questions means less chance for mistakes. When someone is suspended after a hearing, he can be sure he has had all of his rights respected. Being considered innocent until proven guilty is one of our basic rights. Justice for all includes children. The end.
Wow.
Terrible, right?
Wow.
It's almost like the National Council for whatever. Like, you have to include this in the dialogue.
Yeah.
It's very specific phrasing because there's no real plot
And
or
you get one
characterization.
page.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying I could do better with this much real estate and having never written or drawn a comic myself, but come on.
Right.
You have to have Superman like form a connection with one of the kids and be like, see, Billy, this is why you don't wail on each other, or this is why you
And you know what's
deserve
interesting?
rights.
People think that violence and stuff, all that stuff, is kind of new in school. You know, like every generation comes up and has kids in school. It's like, oh, the violence. But then this is 76.
Yeah, and they're still violent. More violent than ever.
Yeah, so...
I drove by the high school the other day and they're wailing on each other. Summer. It's summer. They don't have to go to school. I like this kid's haircut, though. America needs American seeds.
Oh.
It's part of the fascist vegetable
Selling
party.
seeds.
There are so many more
Make money,
seeds in
get
the packets
prices.
than most packages you sell today. That's Valerie Flint from New York, if you're watching. Curtis Patrick from Missouri, or Valerie Flint from New York. Cesar Ivan Lopez from Puerto Rico says, it's easy to order, easy to sell, and it's easy to win a prize selling American seeds.
Oh, I feel like I would have loved to do that.
You could get junior guitars. You could get
Sleeping bag?
a sleeping bag. Cassette tape recorder, that would be pretty cool. It comes with a little microphone.
I remember getting one of those for Christmas. Oh,
You get a portable typewriter.
Wow.
So that's our House of Mystery. I've been doing a lot of the horror comics for DC lately, but those are some of my favorite ones from DC.
The artwork is
I
fantastic.
almost like them better than their superhero stories. Maybe save
Really?
Batman. Batman and
Really?
Superman. I don't know.
Yeah, Batman.
Lately, I've been in the mood for horror ones.
Sometimes, you know, I've been having a hard time deciding on my DCs because it almost feels like reading a group book is so involved and they just always pair off and, you know, break down their problem into smaller bits and pair off. And that's
a common
just,
tactic.
yes.
It's got to be hard to balance all those characters, though.
Yeah.
We don't have that problem here because we just get Submariner. This is, I think, the only solo Submariner in our collection, and another haul from our recent trip to Pops Comics.
Yeah.
So,
I could not resist the cover.
I know, I love that monster.
And I'd never heard of this
I like
monster.
how some of his hair is orange.
Mm-hmm. He almost looks
Just around his
friendly, though.
face. He is.
Kinda.
He thinks he's being friendly.
If he wasn't smashing helicopters.
He's just playing in the tub with his toys. It's Torg.
Blasted by
The Antarctic, hey, the Antarctic abomination. We just had Magneto in Antarctica building a base.
That's
last
right.
episode.
And this was his foreman.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What year is this again? This is 72.
72. So, yeah, I was 9 years old. So Prince Namor, the Submariner, the abominable Snow King. He's saying goodbye to his cousin here while he's leaving her on the ship under the charge of this woman who's going to teach her. And she has a crush on her cousin, bizarre, and said, "Oh, no, take my earring and wear it, and I'll be wearing one, and you'll always remember me." And he's like, "Oh, silly girl, blah, blah, blah." And they say goodbye. It was like, did you really need this in the comic book? Because it never talks about it again.
Is that Namorita, did you say? Namora? What's her name? That's his cousin, you said?
Yeah, it's the daughter of a friend that he had. And sweet romantic youth, ever she will recall to mind the long ago carefree days I passed with her mother, dear Namora.
Ah, that's Namora.
When we were but her very own
I thought it was Mustard
age.
Head.
Yet
weird
time passes
Namor
quickly.
wears the least amount of clothes of many heroes.
That is true.
Hulk is there too, but at least even his tattered pants usually go down to his knees or so.
Yeah, that's true. Because even, what's his name?
Naked Man?
The other,
Aquaman?
Aquaman wears a full bodysuit.
Yeah. He's
So,
just
yeah.
more self-conscious.
Namor don't care. Anyway, he goes, I must return to my Antarctic home, there to collect my thoughts and perhaps devise some further
It would
divertisement.
be a good divertisement.
Divertisement
What a
for the
word.
humble powers.
It's the first time I think I've probably ever seen divertisement in a comic.
Yeah.
Namor's got that elevated vocabulary
Yes.
from growing up in the lost city of Atlantis. There's not much else to do but read. Reading in his Speedo.
So as he is flying through the ocean by the tip of Neptune's trident, what calamity befalls here? Debris of a recent shipwreck, not long ago, yet too long for me to be evade. He's like, it's 5 minutes. It was all 5 minutes ago.
Neptune's trident. Do you think it ever says, by the grip of Neptune? By the rusty forks of... Yeah, it's always the tip, or does he describe different parts of it depending on the severity of the
That
situation?
would be hilarious. And still, it will bear investigation. And even as a curious submariner probes the flotsam and jetsam of one ill-fated vessel, another looms nearby on a sea of floating ice. Ice flows ahead. Ice floats dead ahead, sir. Engines full astern. They pulling together. It's too late. Abandoned ship. All hands to lifeboat stations. We're breaking up. So that's fast. That's
we really should have
crazy.
saw this coming. They're really big, and we could have saw them from far away, but...
And it's daytime. Indeed,
forgot
it
to look
is
through my
too
looking
late.
glass.
And as the panic-stricken crew takes to the frigid waters, the steel titan literally disintegrates in the crush of a merciless vice.
Titanic, the movie, wasn't out yet, so they didn't know any better.
That's right. Moments later, the crumpled corpse sinks slowly to its watery grave, and a strange phenomenon occurs. The liberated cargo seems to drift away with an ordered life of its own.
Uh-oh.
So you see, it's
Very
going.
orderly mess.
Yeah, it's almost like when you look at it here, it's like, is there something like a vacuum pulling on it?
Jet stream or something. I will say I love the colors in this comic.
For an old book.
Yeah, some of these greens and yellows look great. Namor would be an easy cosplay. If you're comfortable bearing that much flesh, shaving your eyebrows off and drawing ventriloquist arches, ventriloquist dummy, and curling your eyelashes, and hitting yourself on the head with a frying pan to flatten out the top of your skull.
Well, it's hair. Make your hair look all
Just,
flat.
just give yourself the Hammerhead haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Hammerhead from, is it Spider-Man, I think?
Spider-Man.
Probably go to the same stylist.
So one ship crashed and sunk, and now a second, both within miles and hours of each other? This is too much to accept as coincidence. There is some pattern here, some ominous, almost military stratagem. Yeah, his vocabulary is...
Oh, yeah, Magneto said stratagem.
Yeah. Friend? Foe? Which leads me to
They
suspect.
teamed up at one point in
Did they really?
Fantastic Four, yeah. Magneto was trying to... Well, they're both mutants. Many people forget that about Namor. Is not only is he an Atlantean, but he's one of the earliest mutants.
That's right.
Like, because he was in World War II, at least in the main continuity, with Captain America and the original Human Torch, the android version.
Wow.
So he goes back quite a long way.
Wow. So he gets suspicious, and he starts to follow along. He falls into the path of what's going on. It's not a sign of life. If indeed, he thinks it's his old foe. And how do you say that? Is it Byra?
That's what I would say.
Byra?
Yeah.
I think Byra is responsible for these catastrophes. Then he has made his headquarters elsewhere. So this is referring back to issue 51, his fight. And so he's thinking that that's who it is, and that he's made his headquarters somewhere other than Atlantis. He goes,
I love these sea lions.
Under hypnosis. And there is naught for me to do but search blindly through these endless seas. Hold, what strange formation is this? A school of witless sea lions swimming in echelon with amazing precision?
Those witless sea lions.
They're so precise.
You can tell that they're dumber sea lions. He's like, I've seen smarter sea lions than this. There's 20 of them.
So he follows them down. And he goes, by the golden girdle of Galatea. So this is the answer, or almost. But what is the reason? The purpose? The poipus? What can mere sea mammals hope to gain from sinking harmless surface vessels? So he follows in and joins. And they don't notice them. Like they're just like under hypnosis.
Focused.
Yep, they're very focused. So a submerged iceberg. And the safari enters it with the precision of a naval convoy. There is manipulation here, such as there was with Bira's mutant crabs. Ew. Yet I suspect that it is from some other source on this occasion. But before I determine that source, I must talk with the passengers and crew of the sunken vessel. Perhaps they can provide me with a clue to this disaster. And all he finds is this one guy banging on the radio, can't get it fixed. And he's like, where are the others? There's not a body in sight. What happened to them? I don't know. I guess they drowned. At least I saw a lot of them disappear below the surface.
It's a weird mustard-colored head garb.
I know.
And like a sailor's beanie under it.
Mm-hmm. It's a weird... So he's telling them, well, most likely pull down and you fix that radio and I'll be back for you later.
I'll have this big scrunch.
Yeah, the onomatopoeia is great. And any 14 of these hit records for only $2.86.
Oh, dang. Which one would you get? What would be your top three?
Oh, gosh. Oh, Simon and Garfunkel. Simon and Garfunkel.
Sermon and Garfunkel. I love them.
What else?
You like Elton John.
Yes, Elton John. Oh, Man Across the Water is great. Neil Diamond. I mean, he rocks. You can't deny it. Come on. Neil Young, Harvest.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Sly and the Family Stone's greatest hits.
I like T-Rex Electric Warrior.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
James Brown, that'd be good.
They have a couple. Santana.
Santana and Braxis.
Cat Stevens. T for the Tiller. Or no, that's Teaser and the Firecat. James Taylor, Mudslide.
I like Carole King.
Yeah. Tapestry's a great album.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bob Dylan's greatest hits, but I think I passed
Black
on
Sabbath, Master of Reality.
Jesus Christ Superstar. That's a great one. Chicago is underrated,
I like a
I
little bit
think.
of Chicago.
I like a good horn section.
I like about 20 minutes of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
No more.
Yeah.
I think one time I played a gig opening at like a festival in like Gladstone or something. with the blues band, and then the next band was a Chicago tribute, and they
Oh,
did a good
really?
job. But it made me realize I'm like, a little bit of Chicago goes a long way. They've got some good songs.
It does. It
Um,
does.
Their
It-
guitar player was really good, Terry Kath.
Did they have
He
a-
killed himself, really. The real Chicago guy, not the tribute band I saw. I don't know if you ever heard the story of their original guitarist who wrote a lot of their first
Hits?
music. Was playing with a handgun and didn't think it was loaded and made like a
Oh no.
gesture to shoot himself, and it was actually loaded and killed himself.
No.
That's why you never pretend to shoot yourself in the head with a real gun.
Ugh.
You look like a real butthole. I love this icy cavern. That's so cool.
The artwork in this book is
All
fantastic.
the little shading and lines on it.
I love the fish.
I like the green on the edges of the water too. That's really cool.
So he follows him down and finds this cavern carved out of the ice, and with the ship's cargo intact, and then all these people up on that shelf. And raise your head, submariner. Lift your eyes to your new emperor. No longer shall a mere aquatic hybrid rule the vast Antarctic seas. For now comes the advent of the greatest power yet known to marine life. There are those who know me by many other names, but I cling to my private name, Torque.
He clings to it. He's a long-winded guy. I thought from the cover he'd be kind of a mindless monster, but he's got a lot
No.
to say.
And my public title, the Abominable Snow King.
Oh my God!
No
I never would have
creature.
guessed the Snow King would be green.
I know, and have a very, well, he's got abs.
Those are tumors.
Ew. And of course, Namor is like, no creature calls himself my master gargantuan, be he man or beast. Lord, look at the size of him. Not even the Submariner is a match for such a giant. They've
That guy. He has nothing to say.
Oh my god! And all these people, the babushkas. I mean, I know that they're doing it to
Must be
heat
windy,
themselves
yeah.
up, but
But the fact that they're yellow is weird.
Yes.
It's not the color I would imagine.
So saith thou, puny prince. Look at how big he is. He just grabs him and whips him at the ice. Aye, so say I. One questions not the superiority of your brawn, Torg, but the superiority of your brain. Ever you
Good
were
one.
I know.
He needs to take some banter lessons from Spider-Man.
Yes, he does. But then so does Torg. Ever you were one to flaunt your supernatural strength to gain submission of your mortal enemies, noble Namor. Is it any less fitting that I shall use my physical prowess to equal advantage? They're very wordy.
Yeah.
They're very wordy.
Just slips off the tongue so easily.
I know. So as he's going on, Namor comes up and no one knows perhaps, but one may hazard a guess.
I love all these blues and whites, and then the two red panels of punching in action. That's a cool way to like pin down the page on opposite corners.
Is. Yeah, it is connected by the pluck and thunk.
Yeah.
I love that they put in all this detail of the water too. They could have left it completely blue, but
It's choppy.
and all of that ice detail.
It's awesome.
It's-
Instead of just having one sheet of like straight ice, it's got dimension to it.
Yeah, it's this made me laugh. These 3 big drafting kits given to you. That's not
High
going to sell
paid
me.
job in drafting.
That's not going to pay. Nope. It earns $820 a month. $820 a month.
Wow. $820 a month?
Yup.
A month? No, just month.
Just month.
You get one time. And we don't pay you ever again.
This guy's like, I shouldn't have hit him in the head so hard with this. So look at these panels. This is
Whoa.
incredible. A
This
mutant.
very reminds me of the Max Fleischer Superman cartoons. That kind of where he's fighting like a big
yeah.
robot or a big Godzilla or whatever the heck he fights in those. He's very Superman. He's like Superman meets Aquaman.
Mm-hmm. And I love the way that they're able to incorporate his size. They never make him like diminish his size, and yet they use the words and the sounds effectively. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, the word's almost as big as he is there.
Looks fantastic. He goes, a mutant you assuredly must be, spawned by who knows what.
Admixture.
Admixture of genes.
Not a mixture, an admixture.
But of flesh and blood you are made, and as flesh and blood you shall rise or fall, according to the ability of your adversaries.
According to the ability of your adversaries.
God, he is just a lot.
Who wrote this thing?
He's a lot.
Thesaurus Jones?
Rise, I shall. Impudent one, again and again, if necessary. Be it known now and forever that the Snow King is invincible, unconquerable. Come here, you. I need all the strength I can muster to defeat this Leviathan.
Yeah, that's a weird juxtaposition. He's so long. Come here, you. just say that.
A quick pass through the icy waters will recharge my vitality.
That's an interesting thing about him that kind of makes sense is he needs to get, be close to water or in water to get his strength. But he can also fly with his little foot wings.
Yes.
How could Aquaman ever put up a fight versus Namor? Namor is way more powerful. Seems
well, but does Aquaman need to be in the water to be powerful? It seems like in the movies he's out of the water, but then he's always by the water.
I still haven't watched that Aquaman movie. I need to watch it. I heard it was good.
So these guys, as Namor disappears, he goes, the Submariner can't possibly stop this monster alone. We can help. Come on, men. Remember the Alamo. Are you crazy?
That's an awesome panel.
Yes.
Good for them.
And
helping them out.
They're trying. You underestimate my speed, elusive one. And no one is beyond the reach of the Snow King. So this guy's got reflexes. He grabs Namor, pulls him out of the water. Yar! What manner of revolt is this? These microscopic mortals dare to attack the person of their indisputable superior.
They are but leeches. Parasites to be easily brushed away.
This guy, it's like, what are you hanging on to?
He talks like Dr. Doom or something.
Yes. A big, hairy Dr. Doom. This poor guy. I remember the Alamo, he says. Jeez. Or remember the Alamo, he says.
Yeah, I think he's the guy that we pointed out with the crazy facial expression. He's not buying it. He's like, yeah, we'll get him. He's running the opposite direction.
So impudently and with reckless abandon, the hardy seamen scale the frame of the formidable colossus. All hands aloft, mateys. Somebody got his nipple. Like my mama used to sing, he can climb the rigging like his daddy used to do. Up and at 'em, lads. And taking advantage of the momentary distraction, Namor slips from the giant's grasp. Those crewmen have to be the greatest fools I've ever seen. But thank Neptune for the courage. They joke as if there is no peril. Incredible. The Snow King will shake them off in a moment, and I'll have to try to lure him back into the sea.
I like that he's not like, good thing they could distract him. I mean, he gives them a little credit, but he's also like, they're dumbasses.
Yes.
They're going to get themselves killed.
A clever diversion, Submariner, but you'll not evade me for long. Away with you, puny surface men. The Submariner shall yet be mine. We go back to this guy while still tossing about on the ocean icy waves. It's fixed. Now, if only it isn't too late for an SOS to have effect. But they've got to hear it. They've just got to. And then we cut to the rescue teams up in the wheelie, or what are they called? Healy birds? In the helicopters.
It's pronounced helicopter.
Whirly birds. Hey,
That's
man.
a lot of helicopters.
Yeah.
Each driven by a witless sea lion in perfect formation.
Hey, man, there are some survivors. I'm getting a mayday. Same ship if we got it from earlier? Yeah, but these signals here sent just before the ship went down and didn't give its location. This is as good as a homing device if he keeps sending those bleeps out. Hold on, Sparks, we're zeroing in on you. Submariner, show yourself. He's intense. These two are really intense together. Answer. Where you known to be a coward? Come out and fight like the intrepid warrior they say you are. That looked like email. Small as you are, your fair skin will betray you in
Or
these
email
waters.
me if you can. I'll be checking it.
Text. This could have been a text. No matter where you hide, I'll find you and crush you as easily as a slivery minnow. Wow, look at that. What is it? Well, it ain't King Kong, that's for sure. That movie went out with nickel beer. Rawr! His face is great. Perfect in that.
He's always got his mouth open.
He's a mouth breather. With a nice vocabulary, though. Bah, surface men's toys, buzzing around like pesky sand fleas. I've no time for such annoyances. Look alive, men, we're too close, and he's too fast. Another of the submariner's diversions, no doubt. But it will avail him nothing. Hey, our bullets bounce off him like he was built of armor plate. Let's get out of here. Yeah, man, our mission is picking up survivors, not gunning down monsters. Hey, look, he's gone under. Did we sink him? Or doesn't he like our company?
He doesn't like it, sir.
Banana stamp. I could not read that to find out. But it says from faraway exotic lands.
Pet baby raccoons. One of America's favorite pets has always been and still is. Easy to care for.
Yes!
Yeah, right. $29.95. Fob with cage. Send. Maybe FOB stands for something. I don't know. Send cashier's check or money order with your telephone number and nearest airport.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Of course, it's out of
Hialeah
Florida.
Pets out of Florida. A Florida man selling raccoons through the mail.
It's crazy. I wonder if you Google Florida man selling raccoons if it comes
Oh,
up.
you still would. Hypnotized with Eddie's TV set. First evening or money back.
What?
Well, an electric guitar and amp. $15.95.
All right. How to write or how to make money writing short paragraphs.
How to make money writing short paragraphs. It's a weird little to give it the boomer ellipses.
All right. And as one goes down, another comes up. Rescue choppers. Copters. But they'll never find the ship's survivors in that submerged iceberg. Submariner, we might have known you'd be up in on this act somewhere. Come aboard, quick. Listen to me. Do you carry bombs or explosives on these whirlybirds? Say, whirlybirds. Sure, we got to be ready for anything the way this cockeyed world is today. What's on your mind? You may not believe this, but you have no choice. I'll show you where your survivors are and tell you what you have to do. Listen. Right on, Namor. I don't know if it'll work, but it's worth a try. It'll work, if you're careful. Now, if I can just keep the Snow King from going back to the iceberg cavern. Torg, show yourself, monster. Arr! You are true to my expectations, paltry prince. I knew you would not disappoint me. Please. Although if you were swimming and turned around and saw that thing coming at you, you'd dirty up the water.
Wow, that's a great explosion.
Yes. I try to disappoint no one, Snow King, but if you intend to destroy me, you'll have to catch me first, before I destroy you. Ever you were the arrogant egotist, Submariner, but finally you have met your master. Master or slave, often the rules are easily reversed, Colossal One, but not where might is right. Hold, what is that distant rumbling? He's always looking surprised somewhere else. Those whirling sea fleas, they're bombing the ice field. Submariner, if this means what I think it means, it could mean one of two things, Torg. Either your captives are dead or they've escaped. But you'll never know until you get me out of the way. Come on! You gotta picture him, they're like Ben Graham. Come on!
They're talking underwater.
Yeah. Great Scott, whatever that blast was, it knocked a hole right through the roof of this berg. Come on, men, the only way out is up. But what caused the explosion? It could have killed us all. Yeah, and what happens when we do get out of here? We're still not out of the soup.
Get in that whirly bird. We're out of the soup.
Yes. There's your answer, mate. The good old U.S. Navy. Air Sea Rescue Choppers. But how could they know where to find us?
That's a great panel. Oh.
The Submariner, of course. Stupid. Who else gets around the way he does? I don't know how he did it, but...
Of course, stupid.
Am I glad he did. Another hour in this cold and we'd all be icicles. And more ads.
Oh, free 1 million cash. I wish you would have saw that.
Blood curdle vampire bed.
It's life size. Capital L life.
Oh, the ad.
Convincing sideburns, and you remember this one.
Yes. Shop by mail. I'm 11 years old and sell 75 to 100 a week. Nice hat, buddy. Yeah. Be taller. That's all I said. Be taller.
Too skinny? Be taller.
Play guitar in 7 days or money back. And stamps. So many stamps.
Rare banana stamps.
I know. I don't know what the banana stamp is. But good ads in this paper. And deep beneath the surface action, another scene.
It's a bunch of tubes.
Byra's fateful oil springs, still capped as I left them after our last encounter, and they may yet serve me well if my plan does not fail. This is just so anti-planet. Come, giant mutant, would you falter at the taunts of a mere minnow, or quake at the sight of a shark? Come then, this lowly fishman is yours for the taking. Do your worst. Rah, you pitiful jibes. Do you irk me, Submariner? Your pitiful jibes. It's your superego that galls my blood to the boiling point. Do you never admit defeat? Do you never surrender in the face of such obvious superiority? Never, overconfident one. Not as long as there is even one resource left within my grasp. And the one at hand is the one which will be your undoing. It's black.
It's fetid oil.
Yeah, into the ocean. Fetid oil.
Are they underwater during this part? And he can like direct the spray of the oil. It doesn't just dilute into the greater ocean. It
I guess with
sprays
the
right at 'em.
and it's weird
All
how
the
it's
pressure, I guess.
like, are these connected? How are they? You know what I mean? It's a weird.
Well, it makes it go from there to there.
And from there to there. And over there, here. It's bizarre. Fetid oil. You surprise me, Submariner. But I am not yet defeated. And when I get you out of your natural element, get me then, braggart. A moment or two in this freezing air. No! The oil, it congeals. I cannot move. And now, who is the master and who is the slave, Snow King? The gelatinous oil leaves you helpless.
Part of gelatinous.
Yeah, yeah.
This is gelatinous.
Fitting fodder for the coup de grace. A toppling iceberg shall spell doom to the abominable Snow King. Forever! I like how his hair is... This is really pathetic.
Yeah, his eyes look crazy in that one.
Oh, man. He returns to the depths from which he came, and may the riddle of his origin never be solved.
Because then we'd have to explain it. Come up with something cool.
No heroes in this doubtful drama, lest there be one in the person of the gallant radio man in his solitary craft. Were it not for him, the great Antarctic continent might have had a new and awesome ruler. The exact location of the survivors might never have been detected, nor rescue ships dispatched to carry them to safety. Thus, though it demeans my imperial pride, I salute the courage of the oft-sworn enemies, the surface men.
Next, once more, Atlantis, Imperious Rex.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough to read.
Oh, we can't forget how I got the tip of my life.
Ooh.
Hey, Jim, wait up. Where'd you get the new car? Company gave it to me, Ted. I'm in accident investigation now. You still back at the plant? Yeah, same old lousy job. Accident investigation's pretty good. Terrific. It's part of the biggest business in the world. Plenty of freedom, fantastic benefits. I love it. But Jim, you were just a factory hand like me. How'd you do it? Easy. I learned all I needed at home in my spare time. I took training from Universal Schools. Then they helped me get this job. This great job. Could Universal help me? No, you're far too stupid. Sure, we need a lot more men in accident investigation. It's booming. What are all these accidents? What's causing all the accidents? Tell you what, send for Universal's free book of facts. It tells you the whole story. You'll be amazed at the opportunities in accident investigation.
Need an accident? $5.
We're causing them. We're investigating them. It's a perfect business. Supply and demand.
Look who's smiling now.
LaSalle Extension University. Ever want to cause an accident to your enemies? Then having them investigated only to find out it was no big deal and not your fault. So if you like these two comics, be sure to give us a like and a subscribe. And thanks for watching.